week was from First Street. $1.47 trillion wiped out, they say, in real estate because of climate change. How do you react to a statement like that, a report like that?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest challenges we're seeing now in real estate is insurance costs. Insurance costs in Florida, in California, where a lot of insurance companies have decided they are no longer going to insure, and it's because of reports like this.
Do you think it was overblown, that report? That was a huge number,
Yeah,
trillion and a half.
yeah. I'm not a research expert, but I think regardless of the report, whether it was a trillion or a trillion and a half, the implication is going to be the same, which is I think our country will. More people will have to self-insure, and where that becomes a very big problem is people will not give you a mortgage if you're self-insuring.
It's really interesting. So the five biggest markets impacted were three in Florida: Miami, Tampa Bay, Jacksonville, also New Orleans and Sacramento. Are you already seeing some of that in coastal Florida?
Oh yes, absolutely. So coastal Florida is the inventory has been rising as much as any state in the country. It's one of the 8 states where inventory is as high, actually higher than it was in pre-pandemic periods, so 2019.
So is it a
It,
good time to buy down there if you're
I
looking?
I've been thinking about that myself.
I hear a lot of people up here in New York talking about jumping in now. So the biggest climate story, of course, is the LA fires. And of course, that is primarily a humanitarian story. Our hearts are broken for the people that lost everything. As a real estate story, can you wrap your hands around how devastating it might be for the Palisades and Los Angeles County?
Yeah, so there are over 10,000 people that have lost their homes. And as many people have lost their homes, there are even more where they cannot go back into the home because it's contaminated. And so it's really a devastation unlike anything this country has ever seen. In terms of what's going to happen to Los Angeles, I believe it's going to bounce back. It's one of the most beautiful places in the country and the world. LA is rallying around each other, and they're helping. We have agents across Los Angeles that are helping them find another place in LA.
The Altman brothers, who are big agents out there, told me they think 50% of those people don't go back. What do you make of those projections?
I believe the majority of people will stay in Los Angeles. Maybe more in the super high end, you may see people leave, but what we've seen is more than 90% of people are saying, I want to live in Los Angeles.
I hope so. What a stunning real estate market, city, county it is. How would you describe the real estate market overall in this country that I would say has been frozen for a couple of years by high rates?
So we still have high rates. It looks like today they may go below 7%, with
Okay.
some movement in the 10 year. So knock on wood. What I would expect is this year looks a lot like last year. I expect prices to go up 2.5% to 3%, which is the historical average. So far this year in January, prices are up 2.5%. I would expect the transaction volume to go up at maybe 5% or more. But I do believe last year will be the bottom.
You mentioned rates going hopefully below seven. When do they get to a number that thaws out this market? Let's say five range. How long before that happens?
So I think what thaws out this market at this point would be low sixes continuously. Below six, so 5.999, we are back, like back. And I would I would expect us to get to low sixes maybe this time next year.
Okay, hopefully. What do you think will be the hottest real estate market in 2025? The one we'll be talking about a year from now.
The hottest real estate market in 2025, New York is getting pretty hot, which is nice. And I would say San Francisco with some of the tech boom in Seattle. I would bet on Seattle.
Okay, that's an interesting one. All right, social media has been the tool that Compass has utilized better than any other brokerage, with all due respect. If there's one platform that you think is most important for your agents, what do you think it is and why?
So I still think it's Instagram because we are in the image business, beautiful images of properties, of the life you can live. And Instagram is made for images. But the most underutilized platform relative to the value is LinkedIn, because a lot of our client base is looking at LinkedIn, and they're looking at LinkedIn when they're looking for advice and insight. And you, as a real estate agent, can provide that.
I could not agree with you more. I spend more time on LinkedIn than any other platform. Artificial intelligence is the story, maybe of the decade. Talked to Ryan Serhant here a couple of weeks ago. He's rolling out a tool. In most industries, it's a 5 or 10 year play. Right now, what are Compass agents doing to enable, to take advantage of AI, and how does it help buyers?
So we call it AI for AI, artificial intelligence to empower agent intelligence. And we have a tool, for example, called Likely to Sell, which we put into our CRM so that when agents wake up in the morning, it tells them who to call and what to say based off of how likely they are to sell their home. And it looks at all types of factors, or how long they lived in the home, if they have a mortgage, how long it's been paid off, the propensity to move in the neighborhood. So let's say it's a building where a lot of people have moved recently, or a neighbor a lot of people have moved recently, that move up the likely to sell. And so those are some of the many things that it looks at to make a recommendation to the real estate agents.
Very cool. Agents have become stars in part because of social media and then reality. And in the headlines, Compass has been attracting some big star agents from a rival brokerage. What do you do to bring over some of these agents, namely Tracy Tudor from Million Dollar Listing and a couple others in the headlines the last couple of months?
Yeah, so at Compass, we have nearly 40,000 agents now, or the number one brokerage firm by sold volume in the country. We launched sales just around 11 years ago. In our first 10 years, we sold over $1 trillion of sales volume. And so the reason why agents come to Compass is we view them as the client. We work as hard for them as they do for their buyers and sellers. My mom is a real estate agent, has been nearly my entire life. She's an agent today at Compass, 79 years old. And she's having the best year of her career. But we treat them like clients, and we have built tools, programs, and systems to help them grow their business and better serve their clients. We invested $1.7 billion so far in our technology platform for agents. And just this week, we launched Compass One, which is a one-stop shop for all of their clients' needs. Buyers, sellers, owners of multiple homes. It gives 24/7 transparency in every step of the process before, during, and after the transaction.